So there's many benefits of a properly managed forest. We get more wildlife, there's more habitat, there's more opportunity for sportsmen and women. We have more recreational opportunities. You can gain access to the forests again. We have good paying timber jobs. Wildfires are less severe, and health of our communities are not threatened. One of the biggest problems is litigation. We need more collaborative projects, but litigation is one of the greatest obstacles to managing our forest. A good example is the Stonewall vegetation project in Lincoln, Montana. I toured that site. It took 8 years to get a permit to thin the forest. And then the lawyers swooped in, arguing the project would disrupt lynx habitat. A judge overturned the permit, and that summer, that entire forest burned. And Mr. Speaker, there is no lynx habitat anymore. There's no habitat for any animal there because that forest is gone. The House did take action this past year. We passed the Resilient Federal Forest Act that Congressman Westerman of Arkansas authored and I co-sponsored. It would get us back into our forests, managing them again. Unfortunately, the Senate, tied up with obstruction, didn't act on it. But we have made progress. Back earlier this spring, we overturned the Cottonwood decision, which has been used as a tool to invalidate existing forest management permits. We've been cutting red tape to accelerate the removal of hazardous fuels. The Forest Service estimates that 6.3 billion dead and dying trees are across 11 states. I know in my own home state, in our state capital, Helena, Montana, if you drive west into the Lewis and Clark Forest, you can look at a hillside, and in some cases, because the forests have not been managed and they've overgrown, nearly 90% of the trees are standing dead. It's a tinderbox waiting to go up in flames. We've also reformed how we pay for catastrophic fires. This was fixed also earlier this year through legislation in this House, and it was signed into law, that will allow us to treat large fires just like we do large hurricanes when they exceed budgets, because the cost of these fires has expanded so much, it's consuming the majority of the U.S. Forest Service budget. Mr. Speaker, last year, forest fire fighting costs consume 55% of the Forest Service budget. That takes away money from trail maintenance and recreational programs. It's consumed in fighting these fires. We've also added some provisions to the Farm Bill, which is now in conference, adding good neighbor authorities, extending that capability for categorical exclusions down to county commissioners and local government so they can be involved in making our forests healthier. We've also provided for expedited salvage operations so we can cut dead and dying trees at landscape size without the frivolous litigation shutting down these projects. Mr. Speaker, it's time to act. We can't control the weather, but we can control how we manage our forests. Time to reform how we manage our forests by passing common sense forest management reform. We need to reduce the severity of wildfires. We need to get our forests healthy again. This is good for wildlife, it's good for recreationalists, it's good for hunting, it creates good paying jobs in our mills. Montana can't afford for Congress to continue kicking the can down the road and let important projects be tied up in unnecessary, frivolous litigation. Mr. Speaker, this is an urgent issue, and we need to address it quickly. Mr. Speaker, I appreciate my colleagues bringing the attention of this chamber to wildfires and the need for forest management reform. The House has offered common sense solutions to get us back to managing our forests. The evidence shows that a properly managed forest is a healthier forest. We have less severe wildfires. I've seen this firsthand in the field. I appreciate the efforts of Mr. Westerman, who has been a leader on the issue and a forester by training, and my colleagues who know the destruction of a catastrophic wildfire brings us to know how critical it is to deliver meaningful reforms. Like my colleagues, I urge the Senate to act on common sense measures this chamber has sent so that Montanans can spend a summer in their forests enjoying them, not having to breathe them at home. Mr. Speaker, I yield back the balance of my time.